Hi, Lynette.
Pulled away. There's a peculiar silence that settles in when someone pulls away from you. Not the kind of silence that brings peace, but the kind that echoes questions and sits with tension. For anyone who's been in the throes of an emotional connection, only to feel it slowly disintegrate as the man withdraws, the decision to ignore him in return becomes more than an act. It becomes a psychological and emotional turning point. It begins with confusion. He doesn't text like he used to. Calls become infrequent. His tone, once warm and eager, is now subdued, almost indifferent. You question everything. Was it something you said? Was it moving too fast? Was it ever real? That's when you make the hardest decision to stop trying, not out of spite, not out of pride, but because continuing to reach out feels like begging for crumbs when you once had a feast. So you stop. You don't text good morning. You don't check if he saw your last message. You don't ask if he's okay. You disappear into your own world. At first, he might not notice. Men who pull away often expect to be chased. It's a dance many are familiar with. He distances, she pursues, he regains control. But when you step out of that dance, the rhythm falters. He may feel a flicker of confusion. She's not chasing. Then, a flare of ego. She must be hurt. Maybe she's waiting for me to say something. But as days turn into weeks, and your silence remains steady, not cold, just complete, something shifts. To reflect, even if only internally. He replays moments. He scrolls through past texts. And if he did feel anything real, he'll feel a loss beginning to stir. But here's the twist. You're not ignoring him to get a reaction. At least, not anymore. You're doing it because you've started to see the truth. If someone truly values you, they don't vanish at the first sign of emotional weight. You recognize that chasing someone who's walking away is the quickest way to lose yourself. And suddenly, the silence you feared becomes your ally, your shield. In that quiet, something profound happens. You start listening to yourself again. Your needs, your voice, your worth. Things that got lost in the noise of trying to hold on to someone who was slipping. Sometimes he comes back. Maybe he texts with a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Maybe he watches your stories and reacts with a laughing emoji, as if trying to pick up where things left off. No mention of the distance he created. You recognize it now. This is the breadcrumb trail. But you're not starving anymore. If he comes back with depth, with clarity, with ownership of his distance and an honest desire to reconnect, then maybe there's room for dialogue. But if he comes back with surface level attempts and empty charm, your silence continues, not as punishment, but as protection. And sometimes, he doesn't come back at all. That hurts too, because you realize the connection meant more to you than it did to him. But even in that, you find freedom. You no longer wait for someone who was unsure about you. You no longer measure your worth by someone else's confusion. In the end, ignoring a man who pulled away isn't about playing games. It's about drawing boundaries where there was once blurred desperation. It's about choosing yourself, even when it hurts. It's about knowing that love isn't something you should have to chase. The silence you offered wasn't absence, it was an answer. Let him feel what losing you feels like. There's something powerful about walking away, not out of spite, but out of necessity. It's the quiet reclaiming of your own space, your own soul, your own worth, after giving so much of it to someone who didn't know how to appreciate it. The kind of loss that makes you understand, with painful clarity, that you can't pour yourself in someone else's cup when they're not even willing to hold it. It's the moment you stop trying to fix what's broken and start healing from what was never truly whole. And sometimes, in the process of healing, you have to let him feel the weight of what he's lost. You have to let him feel the absence of you in his life, in his world, in his heart. Let him feel it. The silence you leave behind is the loudest thing he will ever experience. It is deafening. It's in the moments when he reaches for the phone, but there's no text from you. It's in the empty spaces where your presence used to fill the gaps. The laughter, the warmth, the late night talks, the inside jokes. Let him feel the ghost of your touch on the side of the bed that's now cold. Let him sleep beside the memory of your scent lingering in the pillowcase, and let it haunt him, night after night. Let him feel the heaviness of knowing he took you for granted. Let him sit in the empty silence that you once filled with your voice. Let him miss you more than he thought possible, not because you're gone, but because now he realizes that he could have done better. He should have done better. The realization that you are no longer a part of his life will slowly start to eat at him, a slow burn that he won't be able to extinguish with distractions or new faces. Let him feel his regret. Regret has a way of lingering. It creeps into your mind when you're least expecting it and makes everything feel heavy, suffocating. He will find himself regretting the times he didn't pick up your calls, the moments he didn't show up when you needed him. He'll regret the words he never said, the apologies he never offered, and the moments he let slip by without truly appreciating you. Let him drown in the sea of what ifs and could have beens. Let him wonder why it was so hard to be the person you needed him to be when all you ever wanted was his presence, his effort, and his love. Let him replay every argument in his mind, searching for the turning point, the moment where everything shifted. Let him feel the sting of knowing that even though he said he cared, his actions didn't show it. The disconnect that formed between you two wasn't a sudden explosion but a slow erosion, a build-up of small hurts that he never noticed, or worse, didn't acknowledge. Let him feel the weight of his own negligence. Let him know that it wasn't just you who walked away. It was him who pushed you to that edge. Let him experience the loneliness. Loneliness is something you don't truly understand until you lose someone who was a constant in your life. It's the empty space where their laughter once lived, the quiet moments that once felt comforting but now feel like an unbearable void. Let him feel that. Let him feel the aching loneliness of coming home to an empty apartment, walking into rooms that no longer echo with your voice. Let him sit in the silence of his own choices and understand that his actions led to this moment. Let him feel the sharp sting of not having someone to share the mundane moments with, not having someone to laugh at bad jokes or cry over stupid things. He will try to fill the emptiness with other people, with distractions, with anything that doesn't force him to confront the fact that you're really gone. But the truth will linger, and no matter how hard he tries to ignore it, he'll feel your absence in every corner of his life. The seat next to him at the dinner table will feel like a reminder of what he lost. The places you used to go together will no longer hold the same meaning. Let him wander through the world and find everything hollow without you. Let him see you move on. The hardest part for him to swallow was watching you move on. He'll watch you grow, heal, and thrive without him. He'll see you start to live a life he thought was once his to share, and that will be a blow that will take longer to recover from than anything else. But let him see it. Let him see you shine in ways he never allowed you to. Let him see your strength, your resilience, and your ability to move forward even after he failed you. Let him see the way you've started to love yourself again. Let him see you become the person you always were. But never got the chance to be when you were with him. Let him witness your joy, your independence, your freedom. Let him feel the regret of realizing that you were the one thing he had that was worth holding on to. And now he's left only with the memory of what could have been. Let him watch you rebuild your life. Let him see you become stronger, more confident, and more whole without him. Let him see your happiness, and let him know it's not because of him, but in spite of him. Let him feel the finality of it all. Sometimes, the hardest part is accepting that it's over. You don't just walk away from someone because of one bad fight or one big mistake. You walk away because the love you gave wasn't valued, because the effort you put in wasn't reciprocated, and because you finally realized that you deserve more. Let him feel the weight of that finality. Let him feel that he had his chance, and he squandered it. Let him see that the door is closed, and no matter how hard he knocks, it won't open again. You can't fix someone who isn't willing to fix themselves. You can't keep giving when someone keeps taking. You can't continue to pour love into a place that isn't willing to hold it. And sometimes, walking away is the most loving thing you can do, for yourself and for him. Let him learn the value of what he lost. In the end, the only thing that will truly matter to him is the realization of what he had and what he lost. He'll try to move on, to fill the space with someone else, but it won't be the same. He'll find himself comparing them to you, wondering why they don't make him feel the way you did. Let him search for someone who can give him the same love, the same warmth, the same connection, but never find it. Let him realize that what he had with you was rare and irreplaceable. And when he finally does understand, it will be too late. Let him feel that truth deep in his chest, the weight of knowing that he lost the one person who truly understood him, the one person who loved him without conditions, the one person who would have stayed if only he had realized how much he needed to change. But in that moment, you will be gone. You will have healed, you will have moved on, and you will have learned that losing him wasn't the worst thing that could have happened to you. The worst thing would have been staying. Let him feel what losing you feels like, so he knows. So let him feel it. Let him feel every single moment of losing you. Let him sit in that pain, in that regret, in that loneliness. Let him learn the hard way. Let him feel the weight of his own mistakes, so that he can never forget what it means to lose someone who truly cared. And as he feels it, remember this: you walked away not to punish him, but to save yourself. Let him feel the truth. Let him feel what losing you feels like. Let him feel the lesson he should have learned a long time ago. And let him know, in the end, you were always worth more than he ever realized. You can't break a woman who raised a child alone and survived heartbreak in silence. She's been through the kind of battles most people run from. She's wiped her own tears while rocking a baby to sleep. She's faced long nights with no one to call, no one to lean on, and still got up the next morning and showed up for her child, for herself, for a life she refused to give up on. She didn't have the luxury of falling apart, so she learned to bend without breaking. She stitched her heart back together in quiet moments when no one was watching. Her strength isn't loud, it's built into her bones, forged in silence and sacrifice. She doesn't need saving. She became her own hero the moment she chose to keep going when everything told her to give up. Now she walks with the kind of grace that makes noise without a sound. She's unshaken by drama, untouched by shallow judgment. Because once you've survived real pain and carried another soul through it too, the world loses its power to shake you. That woman, the one who survived alone, she's unbreakable. And that's her power. You humiliated the only woman who would have stood by you if you had nothing. You didn't just lose her, you disrespected her. Loudly. You embarrassed the one woman who would have stood by you in silence and struggle and survival. She was there when you had no money, no vision, just potential, and she still believed in you. She made excuses for your immaturity, covered for your mistakes, and clapped for you louder than anyone else ever did. And what did you give her in return? Disrespect. Lies. Public shame. You humiliated the woman who would have taken a bullet for you, not because she was desperate, but because she was loyal. She stayed when it wasn't easy. She defended you when it wasn't popular. And she chose you when there was nothing to gain but struggle. Now you're out here performing for women who wouldn't even text you back if you were down. While the real one, the one who would have helped you build an empire, is gone. You didn't just fumble a woman. You fumbled protection. The worst feeling for a woman is when she tries to have a conversation with a man about his behavior. That hurts her every day, but instead of listening, he gets angry and turns the situation around on her and makes her look like she's the problem. She just wanted to be heard. She just wanted to feel understood, but instead she ends up questioning herself. She goes quiet, not because she's okay, but because she's tired of being unheard. It's her heart asking for effort, for change, for care. A woman will stop talking when she feels it doesn't matter, not lectures. Empathy, not ego. Listen before she stops trying. Understand before she walks away, because when she's done for good. Drop a 100 if you agree with me and pass this on to someone who needs it. God bless. Best thing about the worst times. A story of truth and resilience. Life has a way of testing us, sometimes gently, other times with a force that leaves us breathless. It's in those moments, when the ground beneath our feet feels like it's crumbling, that we discover something truly profound. Not everyone is who they claim to be. And while the worst times of our lives can feel suffocating, there's an unexpected gift hidden within them. The chance to see the true colors of everyone around us. Think back to your darkest hour. Maybe it was a heartbreak that left you questioning love. Or perhaps it was a professional setback that made you doubt your worth. Maybe it was grief so heavy that breathing itself felt impossible. Whatever it was, I'm sure you remember the faces. The ones who showed up, and the ones who disappeared without a trace. I'll never forget my own worst time. It came wrapped in loss. A chapter of life where everything seemed to fall apart at once. Friends I thought would stand by me vanished into thin air, offering empty words or no words at all. Meanwhile, people I barely expected, like a distant coworker or an old acquaintance, showed up with kindness I didn't even know existed. They brought soup when I couldn't cook, sat silently beside me when I couldn't speak, and reminded me
that I wasn't alone, even when it felt like I was. That's the thing about adversity. It strips away pretenses. When life gets hard, some people retreat because they don't know how to handle it. Others rise to the occasion, revealing depths of compassion and strength you might never have seen otherwise. And then there are those rare souls who stay steady through it all, the anchors in your stormy seas. These are the people worth holding on to, not because they're perfect, but because their loyalty shines brightest when you need it most. But here's what else happens during this tea, Rayos. You start seeing yourself more clearly too. You learn which relationships lift you up and which ones weigh you down. You realize that not every person deserves space in your world, and that's okay. Pain teaches you to value authenticity over popularity, depth over surface level connections. It forces you to reevaluate who you let into your inner circle and who you choose to keep out. And isn't that empowering? Yes, the worst times hurt. They leave scars that may never fully fade, but they also give you clarity, a priceless understanding of who truly matters and what kind of person you want to be. Will you be the friend who shows up even when it's inconvenient? The family member who listens without judgment? The stranger who extends a small act of kindness that changes someone's day or life? If you've been through tough times, take a moment to reflect. Who stood by you? Who walked away? And perhaps most importantly, how did you respond? Did you grow stronger, wiser, kinder? If not yet, there's still time. Because the truth is, life will test you again. And when it does, you'll have the opportunity to show your true colors to yourself and to others. So here's my call to action for you. Be the person you needed through your hardest days. Show up for someone else when they're struggling. Send that text, make that call. Sit in silence if that's what they need. Sometimes simply being a sympathetic gift. Let me leave you with this. Life's challenges don't define you, but how you face them does. In the end, the best thing about the worst times isn't just seeing the true colors of everyone else, it's realizing the strength of your own. Because after every storm, there's always sunlight waiting to break through. And guess what? You're stronger than any cloud that tries to block it.
Here are 15 places you must visit before you leave this world. 1. Christmas in New York. 2. Cherry blossom season in Japan. 3. Summer on the French Riviera. 4. Autumn in Edinburgh, Scotland. 5. Winter in the Swiss Alps. 6. Whale watching in Iceland. 7. The Northern Lights in Norway. 8. Carnival in Rio de Janeiro. 9. Sunset on the beaches of Bali. 10. Safari in Kenya. 11. Tulip fields in the Netherlands. 12. Floating markets in Bangkok. 13. The Sahara Desert and a safari adventure. 14. The beaches of the Maldives. 15. The Great Wall of China. Tell me what you love and I'll show you where to go. If you like eating, go to Turkey. If you like drinking, go to Czechia. If you travel for nightlife, go to Serbia. If you travel for history, go to Greece. If you're a student, go to Latvia. If you're retired, go to Portugal. If you want hospitality, go to Bosnia. If you want nature, go to Iceland. If you have money, go to Switzerland. If you're in cities, go to Poland. If you're into villages, go to France. If you're seeking romance, go to Hungary. And if you're willing to pay for romance, go to Netherlands. Set a goal to see all these places with your own eyes. If you're in love, go to Paris. If you like royalty, go to Madrid. If you want luxury, go to Dubai. If you like freedom, go to Amsterdam. If you like cinema, go to Los Angeles. If you like history, go to Rome. If you like mystery, go to Edinburgh. If you like chaos, go to London. If you like sweets, go to Brussels. If you like rebellion, go to Berlin. If you like color, go to Barcelona. If you like calm, go to Côte d'Or. If you like fashion, go to Milan. If you like fairy tales, go to Prague. If you like stories, go to Istanbul. If you like go to Singapore. If you like scooters, go to Hanoi. If you like art, go to Melbourne. If you like beaches, go to Phuket. If you like beauty, go to Budapest. If you like magic, go to Marrakesh. If you like eating, go to Istanbul. If you like history, go to Rome. If you like mystery, go to Edinburgh. If you like royalty, go to Madrid. If you like chaos, go to London. If you like sweets, go to Brussels. If you like color, go to Barcelona. If you like peace, go to Couture. If you like fashion, go to Milan. If you like fairy tales, go to Prague. If you like the future, go to Singapore. If you like scooters, go to Hanoi. If you like art, go to Melbourne. If you like beauty, go to Budapest. If you like magic, go to Marrakesh. If you like calm, go to Tallinn. If you're in love, go to Paris. If you want nature, go to Iceland. And remember the words of St. Augustine. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. If you're not following, you're probably never going to see us again. If you are, then congratulations. You're growing every day.
You can't bring down a woman who isn't afraid to eat alone, to lose friends, who doesn't care about rejections, heartbreaks, and who refuses to tolerate disrespect. She knows who she is and she stands firmly in her truth. Eating alone doesn't bother her because she values peace over company. She can walk away from friendships that no longer serve her without regret. She has learned that rejection is simply redirection and heartbreak is not the end but part of the path. Her strength doesn't come from how others treat her, but from how she treats herself. She is not desperate for attention, validation, or approval. If someone disrespects her, she leaves without explanation. She doesn't chase anyone or anything. She has been through pain and now she's built from resilience. She is comfortable in silence, strong in solitude, and graceful in chaos. She isn't looking to be saved or fixed, she saves herself. Her energy is sacred, her boundaries are clear, and her self-worth is unshakable. You can Try to break her, but you'll only reveal her strength. A woman like her cannot be defeated because her power comes from within, and that can't be taken away by anyone. She loved you past the cheating, past the silence, past the shame, and you loved her like she was temporary. She loved you in ways that broke her. She loved you past the messages she wasn't supposed to see, past the nights you came home and said nothing, past the days she felt invisible next to a man she was still fighting for. She loved you even when you made her feel like an option, even when your loyalty belonged to attention, not commitment, even when you handed her pain and called it just a mistake. She stayed through the storm not because she was weak, but because she believed love could outlast betrayal. She told herself you'd change, that maybe, just maybe, she'd be enough one day. But you loved her like she had an expiration date. Like good women grow on trees. Like she couldn't wake up one morning and finally be done. And when she left, she didn't leave with bitterness. She left with silence, with peace, with her worth finally intact. Because the truth is, she was never temporary. You just never deserved permanent. And now that she's gone, you'll realize she loved you more than you'll ever